Splitting Hair's free salon education podcast starts now. Featuring Matt Beck, Christina Cavalcanti, Brian Hare, Dre Bolin, Thaddeus Bolin, and Danielle Downs. Today's episode is powered by MinervaBeauty.com.
Yes, it is.
I'm wobbling on this broken wheel. I love Minerva, but their wheels could use a little bit of improvement.
It's not their wheels. It's wherever the wheels come from.
Well, then they need to talk to their wheel guy.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Splitting Hairs. Today is January 3rd.
It is. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, that happened.
Happy New Year.
Since last week.
Very excited for everyone that's on live with us today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I've got Brian Hare,
Yes, you do.
Drea Bolin, Danielle Downs, Christina Cavalcanti, and Thaddeus Bolin.
Hello.
So we rang in the new year.
We did.
What'd you guys do for New Year? Let's just talk about that for a sec.
I taught Danielle how to make macaroons so she can stop hitting me up for them.
Oh, don't
Okay.
act like you're my daughter for it or something. I just take advantage of it when you make it.
Well, that was my Christmas present to her. I wanted her to be able to make the same picturesque treats that I do. And we just had a bunch of champagne and had a nice toast with grandmother at midnight.
See, I think we should now
How did that
do
go?
a taste comparison. So I think you should make some and Danielle should make some. And then
We're
we'll
going off the same
You-
recipe. They're going to taste the same.
Just
Look at you.
saying.
She's just trying to start drama.
I'm just saying I
No,
would
no,
like
no,
some
no.
more
I'm not going
cookies
against
in
the
this
head
place.
chef here.
Yeah,
There's
it's
plenty of
really,
cookies, you
Danielle,
can eat
it's
all
really
those.
not, I'm sure you've learned this by now, but it's really not drama. It's literally about food. Like Drea and Thad.
They don't care
Food.
about they don't care about this.
It's not
They
the
care about
competition at all. They'll take whatever.
They just want that much
It's like,
food.
who can buy McDonald's better? I don't know which one.
I think Brian does
Let's
a
see who
really
gets
good
back
job of it.
fast.
Yeah, I don't touch McDonald's.
That's true. He does.
Ask me how many burritos I can eat, though.
All right.
Okay.
Tomorrow. I'll ask you tomorrow.
There you go. Off camera.
Okay, so.
It went well to answer your question, Matt.
Okay.
We made a nice drink for grandmother. She
Okay.
stayed awake. She stayed awake till she's awake at 4 o'clock in the morning.
What'd you put in that
She
drink?
outlasted us.
Okay, so you guys were together. What'd you do?
My friends have a party every year and it's tradition. So we get dressed up, ring in the new year, have a good time.
Your friends have a bar, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's open to the public. Like, other people are invited.
that's good. I mean,
Drea.
as a business thing, I think opening
Yeah.
a bar on New Year's Eve is probably a good idea.
Yeah,
But you guys get together every year,
we
right?
get
there.
we get to together every year there. We plan our outfits together. We usually get ready together, and it's just tradition and it's fun.
And you had a friend that chopped her hair off here prior to that
did.
event, right?
I did. One of my good friends, she was studying abroad this past year, and she literally fried her hair in Italy, and decided that when she came back, maybe today this is the time to try the new bob. So
Okay. All
Looks
right.
super cute.
I knew she would look good with shorter hair. I didn't realize how good it would look. Like, I love her with short hair so much better than with long.
Agreed.
Nice. Okay, and Thad.
Rachel and I just went out, got dinner, and then just watched movies. We were lazy.
Oh, that's good.
That's
Nothing wrong
fun.
with that. That's Christina and I.
What'd you guys do?
We just hung out. We were at our house. We were fun. We went and saw the Christmas Carol.
We were fun.
We were fun. We went to the Christmas Carol at the Bucks County Playhouse. That was really fun. And then we went to dinner early at like 3 o'clock.
We had the early bird special.
We did. And it was great because
At
there
Old
was
Country Buffet?
You are like old people.
yeah, there was
Yeah.
no one at the restaurant. It was great. We
We
went
took in a show and had an early dinner.
That's what we did.
and then we went home. We played the game of life
We really did.
Holy shit.
with Hayden.
With Hayden.
Hayden's like
All right.
obsessed with the game of life right now, so it's really fun.
Aren't we
Yeah, wait
all
till he actually
obsessed with
starts
the game of
playing.
I know he doesn't realize that it's like you don't move
It's all
two
fun and games
spaces and
till
make
it's not a
500
goddamn
grand.
game anymore.
Right. All right, cool. So hope you guys had a great New Year's as well. Let's see it in the chat room. Today we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to do our stories like we normally do, but then we're going to answer questions from the chat room because those of you guys that are on live with us, we really appreciate it, and we just want to really focus on the people that are hanging out with us. So
you come to play, we'll play with you.
Yep. So first things first, we have some stories. Trending tresses. with
Yeah.
Drea.
Yeah, so I found this from L from the UK. Their predictions for 12 hairstyle and hair trends that you'll want to try in 2018.
Is my hairstyle on there?
No.
I want to try all of these.
So some of them are just accessories. Some of them are more actual styles. But we can just go through them, and I'd like to hear everyone's opinion on those. The first one is keeping the curls. So going with a more natural, embracing natural curl, natural wave pattern, and just really encouraging that, which I love.
I was going to say, I encourage that.
Yeah, I love that.
If you have curly hair, rock it.
I wish I had curly hair, so like I'm really envious of those people who can. No, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. I'm keeping it curly daily.
All right, so the next one is the dirty blondes. So definitely the shadow root, keeping it natural in there, and then seeing the more golden and natural tones.
I'm doing that too.
I was going to say, we talked about that last week.
You're welcome, 2018.
Brian is
And
so
your
fashion
mustache.
forward.
That's going to be at the that's on the list.
That's going to be on the next list of what not to do for 2018.
Yeah.
So, all right, so the next one is blowouts are going to be big and bouncy, which I don't know why they chose this picture because I don't think it really looks big and bouncy at all. It looks like
She needs to eat.
It's because they're not hairdressers when
Right.
they pick these things.
But
I actually saw a photo on Instagram of Big and Bouncy, and it like this girl's hair was literally about like 12 inches high.
Yeah, well, that's like
yeah,
that's like an ear part. It's like
Yeah.
fully.
She looks like she's part of like some 80s hair
That's the
metal band.
deepest part you can get. But yeah, I think Big and Bouncy will probably be. I mean, Big and Bouncy. This is the thing.
I was
Like,
going to say, I feel like big and bouncy has never really left.
Well, I
this-
mean, I
the
think
trend
they're.
forecast.
I think what that's referencing, 'cause like, it's not that 90s hair where everything was, 'cause there's so much of that 90s look that's coming back right now,
this-
fashion-wise.
right.
But what seems to not be coming back is the 90s hair that went with that.
So you're telling
That's
me Jenko Jinx are
super
coming back?
overly flat ironed, like crushed, like no life,
Flat.
super. The reason I hated my hair in the 90s because that's what was in, and that is not what I had. I think they're just sort of pointing out that that's not what's coming with the rest of the 90s
I was
trend.
going to say, I loved that because it was really achievable for me and very easy.
Yeah, not me. So I'm on board with this.
So headscarves are coming back in the trend, so we'll see a lot of those, which I always think those are fun to have a nice little pop of color, accessorize your outfit a little bit.
I don't think your head needs a pop of color.
When were headscarves in before?
I am 100% doing that when I drive with the top off my Jeep.
Yeah.
Because that's what it makes me think of is like the Tu Wong Fu, Jane Mansfield.
Right, it's
kind
been a
of.
long
It's
time.
been a long time.
Can you
Yeah.
get the one that says Jeep hair don't care?
I have a necklace that says that.
Nice.
Jeep hair do care
Jeep hair don't care.
with his scarf on.
Yeah, but I feel like the headscarves, headbands, stuff like that, that was a 90s thing. So definitely an on-trend thing. And especially with everybody embracing their curl, there's a lot of headscarves and
Yeah.
accessory
I
type
need
things.
to handle some of that.
Exactly. Like, this is going to be a protective style day. Let me still look cute, have my scarf. And there's like videos that show you how to tie these things. So that way, you know, you're not so much the babushka look that she's got right now.
Right.
All right.
I do
Yeah.
dig the bangs that she's got.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. I don't because I picture that just like keeps going.
And that's why she has the headscarf on.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
she.
Alright.
Ooh, no.
Alright.
She looks like
It's
no.
like that thing that hairdressers do, like the let's say avant-garde hairdressers or whatever. Like they make people look super ugly, like just for
Yeah. Let's
Because
take
they
a
can.
gorgeous girl.
like just 'cause I can cut bangs like that. Like they just carve them out, and then you see the picture and you're like, that didn't do anything for the person. But in this
We're
case,
gonna
I
cut her
actually
bangs with a bear trap. So you have that really nice arch right there, and there's nice and jaggedy,
this case I actually like.
and then look like she has a toothache.
I like the way they work with the head shape because she does have like kind of an elongated face in a bit, and I think it has to do with this photo too. But with the scarf and then the bangs that come over, like the scarf would make her face look rounder if it was round, so would the bangs. But because her face is a little bit longer, I think it works.
All right.
Just I don't know.
You also like mullets.
It's true.
I like mullets.
I'm giving Christina a mullet tomorrow.
Always
I think that's a no.
with all my breakage. I kinda
Right. She's getting a chemical mullet right now.
Okay.
All right.
The next one is the undone wet look.
into it.
Love it.
Yeah.
This I'm not into at all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like hers 'cause
Yeah.
she looks like the bald guy that you want to tell to embrace his baldness and stop putting gel in the 7 hairs he has left.
She looks what I would have done that in hair school. That whole thing. Like
Yeah.
I would have said, you know what? I found these earrings and I would love to match your eyeshadow with them. And then I would try to do the wet look on somebody that has no hair whatsoever. But
I was gonna say, I think the Kardashians have always pulled off the wet look so
They got
flawlessly.
so much
Yeah.
hair.
As much as
Right.
I hate that show, Kim and Chloe definitely can pull off the wet look, whether it's the blonde or the dark, and they just get
Mhm.
it to that perfect point where it's not flat to the head.
Right. Well, and I also think part of it is too, if you're gonna pull off that look, you have to have the makeup and the outfit paired properly, 'cause otherwise it just looks like you got out of the shower.
You need to have like an insane amount of makeup, or you just look like shit.
It's like, oh, you just.
I used to work at a restaurant/bar, and like some of the girls would come in the next morning, like looking like what you're trying to say, like get ready.
Oh.
yeah, it's
I'm
true.
not kidding.
Yeah.
Scrunchies are back apparently. Wait.
That one I can't get behind.
I can't.
And again, when did it ever go out?
Is Zach
Oh,
Morris
No, that was
No,
out.
that was
No,
out.
there's lots of people that kept
Just
that in
Listen,
different
just because people are
forms.
doing
Just
it
because
does not
people
mean
did
that
it,
it's
yeah.
like cool.
No.
Really? Because
No.
I was coming up with the splitting hairs scrunchie today online. Not
Is-
really. Not
No,
really.
I
I
was
really
like,
wasn't.
no.
Is Zach Morris's cell phone back in style too?
I don't really have a problem with scrunchies though, because I don't think that not that from a fashion
When you see
standpoint
them in person, it'll like it should light
Ah.
something inside of you.
it doesn't. But the
A girl wore one to the gym. And I was
you know what I love is when it matches the dress. That's like my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Like I accept them at the gym.
Like when she takes a
that's
piece of her
okay,
shirt and puts it right on her head. The
But
same.
That's
Like-
like the guy at the gym who
That's
just
what my
uses his
ponytail looks
t-shirt
like.
sleeve as his bandana.
Yeah, I was gonna say you would like
Okay.
you. Yeah,
no.
But that's at the gym, not. out
she's
and
on the
about.
runway.
They don't damage the hair though, so
That
I don't really have
scrunchie's
a
like
problem.
$1,000.
Yeah, that,
You
that is
know?
$1,000 scrunchie
Yeah.
right there. And I still wouldn't
Scrunchy
wear it.
couture.
I still
Okay.
wouldn't wear it. Schoolgirl braids are definitely another thing that are in the works right now, which Danielle, without even realizing it, was completely on trend right now.
Oh. So explain this to me. What is a schoolgirl braid?
Just like a Dutch braid, regular French braid,
Yeah.
or in this case,
Bad.
rope braid.
Okay.
So this one's like the rope braid form of it, and a little bit more undone.
That just
Yeah.
looks like a fuzzy 3-strand braid.
I was gonna say you'll see them a lot right now, but like there's tons of braids that are super in trend all throughout. Every single like article you pull up, there's some form of braids happening.
Do you guys want to see videos? Like I'm gonna put out there. Do you guys want to see videos on braids like this? Because we can create videos, right?
I
Yeah.
can barely tie
Wait,
my
wait.
shoes. Don't look at me.
Wait,
not
we
not
make-
us.
We know
I'll
how to make
model for
videos.
them.
Yeah, we.
We do videos.
Wisconsin Donna says, "Bring back the bandana clip."
Oh,
The banana clip.
Oh my god.
Oh, banana. Sorry, the bandana. The banana clip.
I was like,
No,
wait,
it
what's
is
a
back.
bandana clip?
clip.
I don't
No,
even know
love
what a
those
bandana
'cause
clip.
I used to
a
pretend
Sorry,
to
bandana-
be.
I'm thinking of the banana clip, but I'm reading.
It's
thing-
okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I used to want to be Geordie LaFord, and I used to put that over my eyes like Star Trek.
I mean,
Not
I used to put my
surprised.
headbands like that. I'm not even kidding.
I know. That's how you wash your face that way this summer.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So our next accessory is gonna be
What did we talk
Huh?
What?
headbands.
Oh.
Next accessory,
Oh, yeah.
headbands.
That's from her T-shirt.
yes. um,
It's actually the cuff of her pants.
Whatever works.
Oh.
so it's definitely in the past we kind of strayed away from the bigger, fatter headbands because I feel like headbands have always kind of come in and out a little bit, and they were really skinny before and very they were more the metallics, and now we're moving into that fatter, more fabric style head.
Looks like they're trying to bring back the bump it too.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After seeing like the majority of these, did you look at these and you were like, I agree with these trends? Or because every episode now we're on our 4th one.
Every single one.
Every
four.
single episode. So the last 4 for this season, we've come out with trends for 2018
Yeah.
for the most part.
because every magazine's putting them out right now.
I know. Do you agree with the? So we didn't agree with every trend of the last ones, but do we agree with these trends that we've talked about today?
Maybe about 50%.
Because a headband to me,
I say
I don't know how they're saying that's a trend coming up.
Well-
It's also a fashion magazine versus just
Sorry.
a hair magazine.
Hair, yeah, right.
Hair magazine. So they're looking at the accessories for hair as well as the hairstyles.
Right.
I feel like a lot of these trends are just like, I don't want to do my hair, so I'm just going to put it in a bandana or a headband or a clip or a messy braid.
Right.
So
Well, a lot of the
First off,
We
when
gotta
was the
also
last time
remember
you
these are
braided your hair? I would
people
like you
doing
to
their
know-
own hair.
I would like to know how
Right.
long it takes.
when I had a beard, I braided it at least once a week.
I'm just saying, when you
Gross.
style your hair with a braid, like, it is not a quick and easy style.
It
Well,
was
Right.
fucking easy.
like this is also not something put out for hairdressers. This is something that people, for the most part,
This
can
isn't,
do
like-
these.
So
Yeah.
my thought would
Like for
be
non-hairdressers, I think it's good for us to know what kind of stuff is being, because like the little thing I'm doing later, it's not necessarily tips to teach us anything, but it's good for us to know what's being taught to our clients by things that they're going to be reading.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. And how do we transfer a headband, a scarf, all these
Right? How
different
can we
things
help
to
someone
our
teach
life?
a messy ass braid to our client who's got the perfect hair for it, but just doesn't know to do it? And be like, oh, well, I was just reading LUK, messy ass braid, totally on point. Don't even worry about your ability to make it look perfect.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, but a lot of these are forecast by the designers. So that a lot of the design aesthetic right now is just 90s, yes, but a little bit more relaxed and it's more
Mhm.
patterns and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like, hey, don't take the focus away from your loud clothes by doing funky hair or anything like that.
Right.
So
I
that's
was
where I feel like the
also-
accessories came back.
One of my favorite hairdressers that I follow was doing this whole thing about how he noticed towards the last half of this past year and some of like the formal stuff he was doing, and it kind of leads into this and ties into this, is that it's a lot more of not real complicated hair, like we were saying, but starting to accessorize it, like intentionally accessorize it with something that maybe is the focal point. Like there was a lot of like simple bobs this year, but
Mhm.
they would start, like I was seeing a lot more hair jewelry this year
Right.
that people were starting to incorporate into simpler styles, and I think that this is sort of a at-home version of this, because not everyone knows where to go and get something super gorgeous to put into just a
Right.
ponytail, but anyone can rip the cuff off of their pants and pull it over their
This
head.
looks like it was definitely a runway. Like you can tell by her makeup and her hair.
What in
and
the background?
And the back. Well,
That
it's
ain't no
blurred out,
grocery
but-
store in the background.
But y-
It's actually KB Toys.
So I think it was Johnny is saying
Miss KB Toys.
he was
asked
asking it
about, yeah.
about the undercut.
Mhm.
Like, do we think the undercut is still here, or do you think it's going away?
I feel like as a necessity, it's not going anywhere. I think maybe just for like the people that feel like doing it just for the hell of it,
Yeah.
like they're gonna get it out of their system. But like I have some clients now that this has just made their life so much easier,
Mhm.
so they'll keep doing it, 'cause for them it's not about pulling their hair up and showing it off.
Right.
It's about being able to blow out the bob with their super stupid thick hair that they just couldn't before.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like when you cut a bob from the occipital bone down, if you have all that bulk and you have really, really thick hair, then you're going to find yourself in a challenge, because that thick hair is kind of pushing everything out. It's expanding the whole shape. So if you can
When it's hard for
completely
people,
remove it.
like we can get that no problem, but for someone to get behind their own head with the right size brush on the right length hair to get
Right.
it to come under or down, odds are they're just not going to be able to get it often enough.
Right.
It's just easier to take it off.
I was going to
Yep.
say,
True.
hey, I have a guest who she's in her 50s and she commutes to New York every single day for as a lawyer, and she's like, I'm not blowing out my hair. I have too much hair, and I want the. She fell in love with the undercut because her hair was dry by the time she got to work, and then it was also it wasn't poofy, so she liked it a lot better.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
All right.
So
Where we
I
at
hope
on
it's
these?
not at a necessity going anyway.
Yeah.
Silver hair. So whereas they're saying that it's now focused more so on silver hair versus the gray hair trend that we were seeing before.
I like
I
this.
dig that.
But I feel like it's kind of the same as what it was.
Yeah, what the hell's the difference?
They're saying it's lighter and more sparkly.
I just was gonna
I guess
say
most-
it looks more
yeah.
sparkly, shimmery.
Like
But
opalescent hair.
It's more
Yep.
yeah, it's a little bit more translucent compared to the darker
So
Right.
more impossible to give
Right.
to like
Pretty
Right.
much more
So
impossible.
Gotcha.
The grays
basically,
yeah, I think the grays were a bit darker and they were rootier, like
Right.
smokier, I guess would say. This looks
You will
very
have this
sparkly.
hair for 2 shampoos.
I want
yeah, it just seems lighter and more translucent.
This
to
is
me.
what they were talking about in that article you were saying today, though, like that kind of like silvery hair. Weren't you saying something today about that?
I haven't seen you since.
You saw me this morning. We had a conversation. I remember every conversation
I don't know what you're talking about.
about Lucy.
Oh yeah.
Is that what they were saying, or no? Or was it just
She-
cooler
just-
tones
it was,
in general?
I mean, this could have been. That's probably what she was talking about.
Just to fill you guys in, we were having a conversation
We
this
lost
morning
the camera.
about we were having a conversation this morning about 2018 trends. We've been talking about them for a few weeks, the different magazines that put them out. But somebody from Paul Mitchell put out some trends that were completely the opposite of what we talked about,
Right.
which isn't what we talked about, is what everybody was talking about, right? So they were saying cooler tones, and we were saying warmer tones going into 2018. So
And we were saying more relaxed hair, and she was saying like more stylized hair.
yeah. So I mean, honestly, it's
I mean, girl, you do it.
it's real. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it, but what we were trying to figure out, what is going to be the trend, and I don't think we base that on our clients, because our clients are coming in looking for what we're recommending. So it's really the trends on the internet. I don't know if so much these trends that we're looking at today are necessarily, they're kind of everything. They're like
It's basically do
cool
whatever
tones,
you want.
warm tones. Exactly. Yeah. I
Can we
think
just-
that's
it's like that every year.
exactly. I know.
Can we just talk about clients showing up with turtlenecks like these to get their hair done, though, please?
I know.
Oh, and
Did
then
you
laughing.
see
I had
that?
one- I had
This
one
is the worst
today.
thing
Did
to
you
wear.
see that meme?
No,
Oh
but I had
my
one
God.
today, and I
I
was
think
like,
it
I
was
love you
hair-
to death, but I hate you so much right now.
Who posted it? Hair like a boss?
Damn it. I don't know if it was him.
If you find it, we can show it to the camera. But yeah, that's like the worst. I'm like, oh, cool. You wore your favorite shirt today.
Like, oh my god,
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy you're wearing a white turtleneck. That's awesome.
Like,
Good
you
luck to both
clearly
of
don't
us.
like this white turtleneck because it's
Oh. All right.
All right,
Next.
so moving on, Bobs with Fringes
Okay.
is the next one.
Basically what I'm doing right now, so I'm still on trend.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this today because I put out a video of the curtain fringe today, and I was thinking if I transfer that into a bob, it would kind of be a similar look to this. So
I gotta tell you, I don't love, as we discussed when I did the curtain fringe, I don't love super crazy, severe, hard, solid bangs. But I
Right.
also really don't like that either.
I don't like that either.
What's going on with like
That
the
looks
very low part, like down by her
so
mouth? It looks like
undone.
there's like a disconnected part of the layer, but not part of the haircut.
What?
It looks like it was cut with Papermate scissors. Like it's very choppy. Even the bob part is choppy. It's unbalanced, and that is like literally going over to tell you. Wait, excuse
You
me.
mean the
Almost like
completely symmetrical pieces on either side of the fringe
Yeah.
that lead into the bob?
They don't lead into the bob. They're disconnected from the bang and the haircut.
Well, it looks like you solved what they're for then.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are the worst things ever. with
No.
That I totally agree.
No.
All right, so maybe let's
I just
talk
don't
about
like pieced out bangs
We'll
like
go
that.
to
Is
the
what I was
next.
saying.
Yeah,
All right, cool. So the
this
next
is not a trend.
Maybe her hair was
Maybe-
blonde and it got fried off, and they just
Yeah.
and then
Okay, so
Her ombre fell off.
we just don't like this picture.
There we
But
go.
the next one is barrettes, and they're talking about doing double barrettes in hairstyles. So either like this one is the extreme part, but also going like right by the corners of your eyes and putting barrettes right there.
If you like one barrette, you will love two barrettes.
I think if you're older than the age
Ah,
of
ah,
5,
ah.
you should not wear barrettes.
You should not. If anybody was wearing that, like if we went to hate,
I'm
like
gonna do it next damn week.
You have done it.
I mean, you should do that. But like
Let me
if
get
you
little plastic purple ones with my name on it.
yeah.
And two daisies on
Customized
either side
barrettes.
of it.
If anybody, like if we went to like a school function or something and somebody was wearing two barrettes in the front of their hair at that school function, I would not say,
It's just about.
wow, look at her on trend for
But you know what?
2018.
It's about whether or not they can pull it off.
No, it's fine.
You gotta
yeah.
just you gotta be able to rock
You
it.
know
If you're
what?
gonna do it right.
I think you could pull it off if you had curly hair like that.
I think it can be done. I absolutely maybe not those like those barrettes,
Can
but I
you wear-
absolutely think it could be done.
Can you wear them next week?
Not by me.
Okay.
I'm no
just
big
saying.
ass. But like I could see Jerry pulling it off with the right kinds of barrettes, the right kind of style. Like it all has to go together.
Oh,
You
like
can't
I
just
love like
throw some shit.
Where do you
in there.
shop for barrettes?
Etsy.
Like if you, where?
Etsy.
Yeah, Etsy
Mhm.
or Claire's.
I was just gonna say
Etsy,
Claire's.
I thought you said it's CVS.
Claire.
Claire.
Claire's.
Thad, this is why we could not go barrette shopping for anybody.
I bet you there'd be a cute, cheaper barrette at Claire's than on Etsy.
That's true, but it wouldn't be cuter than.
You could probably go to Michael's and make it. Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
That's what
So
Etsy does.
Matt, where
So
would you
now we're
go
gonna start
if you
selling
were barrette shopping?
personalized barrettes.
Nope.
No,
on
we're not.
Some
Never.
FSC barrettes.
All right.
But
And
I just think
Okay.
that they
Wedding
tried
hairs.
to continue. Like
Oh.
there was the
FSC barrette.
hairpin.
Kristen
trend.
Collins is like Etsy all the way. She's exclamation point.
Mhm.
So
Sounds like
No,
she's on
Etsy's
the,
cool.
barrette
yeah,
It's-
no, Etsy's great.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Danielle?
Well, I just feel like the barrettes, they're trying to keep up what we've been doing the last couple of years with all of the pins. Like everybody's been doing designs with just regular bobby pins.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, so kind of bored with that. What are we going to do now?
There's a
But
faster way to hold the same damn hair back.
yeah, but
I mean, I could see barrettes being like a thing. Like, is
Look at how
Oh,
quickly
Claire's
we
is so
turned everyone
expensive.
around.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kristen. She's like, Claire's is so expensive.
Claire's is only expensive if you don't shoplift.
oh Jesus, no 5-figure discount, Brian.
Oh my god.
okay? I can't wait
Aw.
to see everyone's barrette.
Next week, and Brian
All right.
landed me in prison. It might be only mall
Who the
prison.
hell went to
but
prison for Claire's?
mall prison?
It's
I
so
don't
easy
know.
to get away with.
They're vicious.
I only
Alright,
paid for
okay.
half my stuff from
So-
there when I was in high school.
So everything was 50% off.
Exactly. Make
Kristen
your own
Collins says she
discount.
got some awesome hair clips there.
all right.
So, all right.
See?
And we have one final last one for this article, and it's the flyaway fringe, which to me just was.
Now that's Jeep hair.
This is where I go. Like, I like this actually.
I was
but I'm
riding
like-
in my Jeep and
For
I
like day to day.
No. I mean,
So
it's
someone
not
at
dating
someone
though.
at a soccer game like that, you're not sold on barrettes, but if some woman is there with that, you're like, yeah, killing it, lady.
Yeah.
Thad.
If I was a
Yeah.
woman, I would wear my hair like that every day.
It
Right.
was Main Addicts.
Oh, we have it.
Color client is cold. Wants to know if she can keep her sweater on. Like,
Okay.
just you have to see this.
Let's get that up to a camera.
Oh my God.
Does mine focus that?
I don't know. That
Yeah,
looks
just
cozy
put it on-
though.
Put it on autofocus. Here it comes. Here's the meme. Meme of the day. Who is it? Main Addicts? It will. You just gotta hold it.
There we go.
Oh, nice. That's funny.
Hey.
Ready for my color?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love that sweater.
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
Not to go get my hair done.
Only if I had it in black, I would wear it.
We can start
Okay.
that again.
All right. I think is that trending tresses?
That's
No,
or
we're
trending
not.
tresses.
All
I'm
right.
done. I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Drop the mic.
Okay, so we got a couple more things with Brian.
What is? I don't know what this was.
That was Michelle Golden. So she followed us. She follows us on.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah. So she posted that on a certain hairdresser website. I think it says it on the very top corner. It was like, what is it called?
Awesome ideas for hairstylists to help grow their business.
Yeah, there's so many different groups on Facebook, and that was one that Michelle Golden is part of. And she's been following us for a long time, so I thought it was interesting what she's doing at her salon, so I wanted to bring it up. I didn't put that picture up, though, Chris, I don't think.
So Thad, get back on the camera with the phone.
So here's the thing. So we can just kind of talk about it because it was more of a conversation piece than anything. She's doing payment plans for her guests. So my initial thought with this is, what was the payment plan?
Hair service. No. Wait, the bottom one?
The top one. Yeah, that one.
Well, there's a lot of words here. Which part
Yeah.
do you want?
Just start reading at the top and work your way down.
All right, now offering hair appointment payment plans. Note number 1, hair service total bill must be above $150 to qualify.
Yep.
Must pay by due date or will result in late fee of $5 for each day it's late. Love that. There will be a $25 convenience fee added to bill for all payment plans. This is because I'm allowing you to pay at a later date.
So I wanted to talk about this because I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think it's always cool that people push ideas, right? So we had a membership thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a more complicated version of the membership.
it is a more complicated, and memberships are complicated enough.
Yeah.
So like here's my thoughts on it, because I wanted to talk about it just because I saw it and it brought up a lot of things and a lot of feelings about the membership and all that. We had the membership in the salon.
Give Matt all the feels.
Yeah, all the feels. So basically, we had a membership in the salon. You paid a monthly fee. You got a certain amount of services every month. You got your color, your cut, all of that, and you were charged monthly for that, and you could come in whenever you wanted, right?
Yeah.
We still have clients that are on that membership, but the challenge with it was keeping up with charging them every month. Our software was supposed to do it. It didn't do it consistently. Still doesn't do it consistently. But then other than that, we had, it's just, as a stylist, you grow, right? So as you grow, people should pay more for your services. And when I looked at this, it was more, I look at average ticket or frequency of visit, right? So all of you guys are trying to get a good frequency of visit. If you guys don't know what that is, or people out there don't know what it is, it's how many times your guests come in per year or whatever. So the average salon guest comes in 4.5 times a year. So that's like every 3 months.
I want to know what mine is.
Not a good number, right? I think you're around like 6.8, I think, something like that.
That is, wow, shit. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I would also like to know the day that I die.
Yeah, well, that is
Today.
But so that's the frequency of visit. So everybody wants to be above and beyond that. The challenge is with this payment plan, I think, is going to push people's frequency of visit back. And that's my worry. So it's like, okay, you couldn't afford to come in, so I'm going to put you on a payment plan, but that's just going to push you back because you were somebody that couldn't afford to come in in the first place. So to me, I would rather have less, my price is less, and have people come in more often than have people put on a payment plan and now they're going to take let's say you're on a payment plan, it takes you 2 months to pay it, right? So now all of a sudden you've taken 2 months to pay that one visit, and now I want you back in for another visit because that's the only way I'm going to be a successful hairdresser.
Now,
right?
just to play, it's not really devil's advocate, but the other side of that.
Yeah.
If this was some place where I was working that this was implemented, this would be something that I was very selective of who I offered it to. I don't think that this is something that is to be pushed to everyone. I think this is something that maybe it is offered. I'm going to offer this to somebody that wants to continue to come, like maybe the prices have gone up and you run the risk, like say you run a sweet salon and it's just you, and you run the risk of losing people that you don't want to necessarily lose because maybe they've been with you for 10 years, or maybe, you know, I don't know, whatever. There's a 1,000 reasons. So you've got 1 or 2 clients. Okay, rather than seeing you never again, I can see you once every 2 months instead of, you know, every 4 because of how you have to budget yourself for coming to see me.
But what I'm
maybe.
Yes, and I know where you're. I think that's where Michelle's coming with this as well. But from a business standpoint, if you do a payment plan and push them back to 2 months, you might as well.
Yeah, and what happens when they
have them come in every month at a lower price than have them come in every 2 months and have to worry about collecting payment from them.
And what happens
you know
when
what I
they
mean?
don't pay?
Well, that's the other thing. So that conversation happened in the
Take away
group.
your hair.
Yeah, it was like, do you have a collections person?
I
like all
also
this
think
stuff.
too, like you said, maybe
Dog the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
it would be something that you offer to certain people, but I mean, we all know that you just can't do that. Like certain people can't be offered things, especially in this time of day too, that other people aren't offered. Like
And
it just doesn't fly.
Yeah, and if
somebody finds out about it, even if you were working for yourself, your other guests are going to want to be like, oh, well, why can't I get on that? You know, and
yeah, like my dentist was like,
your business then won't generate more money.
I put what's her face on a payment plan, and I found out about it, and I couldn't get on a payment plan. I'd be very frustrated. But the other thing is,
that's why you tell that person. By the way, don't tell anyone. I'm sending this to you.
Yeah, but you don't want to run. You don't want to have to run your business like that.
See what happens? Like that whole thing happens, right?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Maybe if someone came in for like a color correction, I mean, you're still stuck if they don't decide to ultimately not pay. But like if they came in for a color correction and it was a very complicated color correction, like that would be like a higher than normal like salon visit.
Yeah.
But like you were pointing out, like with like highlights, if you're coming in for highlights and you just finally like paid off, or your next appointment is before you've paid it off, what are you gonna do? Just like layer it on the back?
Jay is making a good point. He said, like to pay up front, allow them to book out, and they can make a payment up until the day of the appointment.
That's a good idea.
Like
That's-
layaway.
Yeah.
So basically
Okay.
doing this in the opposite.
Exactly. That's a
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I like that. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't make sense in our business.
Just pay into a pot. Be like, well, you can have $196 worth of services today
Right.
because
Yeah,
that's
right.
what you've got in your debit
Yeah.
account.
That's how everyone should work.
Okay.
But it like when you buy a
This
car.
opens up the good conversation, though, if we're
Yeah.
taking it this way, of the consultation with your client and what their expectation is and their prices. Unfortunately, it is awkward, but you have to talk about those things because you can't surprise a guest on their way out
Right.
with a big fat ticket.
Oh yeah,
You
I'd
know, like,
rather,
it's
I'd
just
rather talk
not-
about it before the service
Yeah.
than find out. Oh,
and hair services are too frequent to have a payment plan. They just are.
Yeah, I just
You know, like, and if they're not that frequent, like let's say that they are every 6 month person, then they should be able to save their money for 6 months and pay to get their hair done.
Well, and
every
that's what
6 months.
I mean, I was just because there's one example that I have in my head of if I was in a position where I had to do this, this is what I would do for them. This is not what I've done for this particular client. Instead, I just see them less times a year, but I at least still see them. Like,
Right.
stuff happens. Life
Yeah.
happens.
Agreed.
and
The girls are hand making you barrettes, Brian, so you can wear them on the podcast.
Thank you.
Please.
And I will.
Kristen Collins and Caitlin Wilburn.
Perfect.
You can send them to 419 York Road, New Hope, Pennsylvania.
That is not my house. Don't
It is
get
not his
crazy.
house. It's not his house.
Yeah,
It's here.
I'll wear one from each of you at the same damn time.
Okay, cool. So,
Beautiful.
all right.
And nothing else. We
So
moving
that's
on?
yeah. Let's move on
All right,
to
cool.
your next story.
So, I came across a fun thing on Refinery 29 Snapchat, which I love their Snapchat because I really enjoy like these fun little like snippets and stories and stuff.
it's a good one.
I just gotta like catch it, and then I feel all like pervy screenshotting it, even if it's something completely innocuous. It's just like screenshotting Snapchat makes me feel dirty. So I did that for us for this
You
thing
felt dirty
tonight.
for us.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. It stood out to me obviously because it was 5 tips for growing long, strong hair, which I am doing so successfully. So I just wanted to see how my tips compared with theirs. Again, like I mentioned earlier, this is made not for us. This is made for our guests, and it's on Snapchat, so there's a lot of them seeing it because these stories are getting like bazillions of views per story. So first one, I wanted to go over these and then go over what we as hairdressers can like be armed with to talk to our guests about. Well, here's a way that I think, like before you go getting crazy, here's what I think you should do to get the same or better results. So first one, they were saying mix coconut oil and a few drops of tea tree oil. Apply to roots to help battle dry scalp and promote growth. This one was big because I think this time of year there's a lot of issues with that. You know, dry scalp. I mean, where we are, it's like 1 degree outside, so everyone's cranking the heat to the point where even people that don't get like questionable scalps are getting them this time of year.
I was gonna say, I don't hate this for a dry scalp, but my only thought is afterwards is getting that coconut oil out of your hair.
Well, that was the other part because I was only screenshotting it. This was like a continuing thing. It was like mix coconut,
Right.
but make sure you like do it before a shower and then wash it out.
Wash it out, yeah. But I'm like I don't hate that one for that one because I feel like, but I don't know how it's gonna help promote hair growth other than that it's just a healthy scalp.
Right. So my thought on that was like I would sell somebody something that meant to do that.
Tea tree hair and scalp
Better.
treatment
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
and lavender mint shampoo and conditioner.
Well, at least the scalp treatment because it's got the tea tree oil, so it's going to be good for balancing the scalp. It's got the salicylic acid in it it's going to help remove any of the dead stuff off your scalp.
Don't forget your beards.
Wait, can we just talk about what Kristen Collins said
Wow.
on the chat? She is definitely against coconut oil.
All right, why?
I don't know.
Mm.
Okay, wait.
Well,
And we
She
wait.
said
we're on
just.
hold.
It's a good
She
inter-
said-
great
Type
interruption,
faster.
Thad.
Yeah, we're all.
Just
I
gonna
know.
replace
the
everything
show
with
is on
coconut
hold.
oil.
Type
I already
faster.
got rid of my boyfriend. Bring on the coconut oil.
All right.
Fair enough. I do. I mean, I
Alright
like
then.
coconut oil. I've overused it many times already.
Really?
His stupid jar of coconut oil. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh wait, is that what that
That-
has in that thing?
No.
No,
There
Thad
is
makes his
coconut
own
oil in there.
lotions.
But
And
there's also a bunch of other
Brian
oils
has
in there.
special tattoo coconut oil treatment.
What are you talking about?
Didn't you bring in coconut stuff for your tattoos? Didn't he?
No, that's Thad. That's Thad's
Yeah,
thing.
I have a.
Oh, I thought you brought.
Was it in a
stuff
mason jar?
No, I thought a
was
long
that.
time ago you brought something in for your one tattoo.
Oh, I don't know.
No, the mason jar is that.
That's happened a lot.
No, I was gonna say when Brian blew out his hair on Friday, it had about half
Ugh.
a jar of coconut oil. in
It
it.
didn't even. My blowout didn't even look good because it was way too much coconut. It was gross.
Wisconsin Donna loves your facial hair.
Oh,
Me or
It's
Donna?
because of the coconut oil.
Donna, don't tell Matt.
It's because.
For
I
the
know.
love of
I wasn't
everything.
gonna bring it up, but
Going back to the day you died.
Donna, Chris, if you
Mhm,
wouldn't
it's
have, if
definitely
you
gonna
wouldn't
be
have
today.
said that comment, it would have deleted itself. We wouldn't have. It.
I can brush
Okay.
it on the microphone.
That's why that's yours.
Wait, coconut oil is pore clogging and unless you're using cosmetic grade.
Which is-
fractionated.
Which
Can
is
you
why
I
I
can't
think.
even read that from here.
Which is why I think I'm having scalp issues because I was trying to use just coconut oil and I went a little crazy so far.
Well, that's where you're supposed to actually, if you're gonna do the home remedies,
His
then
scalp is actually suffocating right now.
I literally, it's
Yeah.
just one big white head under this.
Ew, my God, that's so
Flaky.
gross.
I
Yes.
can't wear a hat because I can hear it start to pop.
Oh,
Oh my God.
ew.
Oh, Brian.
Ew.
Oh, Brian.
That's why our views are going up right now.
Yep.
Alright.
That
It's
squish
like
sound.
those stupid pimple popping videos.
Ew.
Yeah, it's just
I
one
don't
big
wa-
one.
I cannot. Uh-uh.
You're aware of them.
All right.
All right, on to the next one.
But really quick about the coconut oil.
Oh, yeah,
it's
go.
not for everybody. Like if you have protein-rich
Kristen.
hair,
It's not for
no,
What are you talking about? She's
she's
sold.
not like it. But
she's making me a
yeah,
bread
like
out of
if
coconut
your
oil.
hair is like say brittle and coarse, then and you think that it's dry and the coconut oil is going to help. No, it's probably going to actually make more of the hair come out.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
That's where sometimes you would want to add like say like a argan oil or olive oil or something like that where it has a little bit more slip. So
I don't think you need oil.
How about marula?
The
oil?
blonde parts do.
Oh, is that what it
A
is?
marula.
The problem is my natural. I haven't had natural hair ever since like 5th grade, and the fact that I have like this much of it now, there's nothing that works for both that and the dead ends. So like I'll try to use coconut oil, and the ends are like, meh, it's a nice suggestion, but we're still piecing
Well,
out.
that sounds
Meanwhile, this is just like, what
Greasy.
yeah.
are you talking about?
that sounds like you either A, need scissors or B, need lightener.
Thanks, Dad.
All right.
You're welcome.
Go
Maybe
get the
got choices.
scissors, Thad.
Maybe we should
We
move
have
on
a
to the
room
next
full of
one.
scissors.
Okay,
right now.
next one.
All right. The next one. Mix equal parts apple cider vinegar and water. Apply to hair after you shampoo to help clarify, balance, restore shine to your hair.
Apple cider vinegar will definitely clean your hair, but then you're smelling like apple cider vinegar for the rest of the day.
Which is an improvement on some people.
Fair.
True.
My solution to that, I've actually got a chance to mess around with DP Hughes apple cider vinegar rinse, and I used it and I liked it. I want to try more of it. So when Justin Anderson watches this, you got the address already.
Shameless plug.
Send me
sure.
some.
Jay said, thank you, Danielle, fellow hair nerd.
See.
Got you.
Right.
I
Oh,
do
Matt.
understand the purpose of it. I prefer products that have already gone and figured out how to incorporate that into something else because, like Thad said, if you mix that with your hair, it's just there's other ways to get your hair
Yeah, just no.
balanced than that.
Well,
Alright.
for
What,
me,
Christina?
I just like to be up on whatever it is because yes, we have plenty of professional grade products that they have all of this stuff in it. You know, castor oils, you know, argan, marula, all of that stuff. But people just always want to try something different. So to me, it's good to at least know it. So that way, if they come in and say, "Oh, my scalp's oily and it's this, this, and this," because I put coconut oil or this, whatever, and you're like,
I
"Oh,
mix
so by the
coconut
way,
oil and apple
this
cider
is why it didn't
vinegar.
work." You would be
I
surprised.
mean, I actually
Mm.
did too. Next was use a clarifying shampoo every few weeks to help reset your hair and remove product buildup. We've talked about this on a previous episode. I think what's important there is getting the right kind of clarifying shampoo.
Absolutely.
Not everyone needs a chelating shampoo. In fact, next to nobody needs it. Teenagers, maybe, that swim on a swim team. So that one, I think, is where we need to step in and make sure they get it right.
Make
Yeah.
a nice recommendation for them.
I think that's the whole point of this entire conversation is step in a little bit. Like,
right.
coach your guest on all of these different things that we're talking about, because you don't want them using the wrong coconut oil or whatever it is.
Right.
to
I
make sure.
love this. Actually, this next one
So
I really liked for
Like,
stealing.
there's a question if someone's getting a little upset because I didn't want to cut you off, Brian. But
But you did.
their hair is soft and sleek, but they shed too much. What's good for that?
Castor oil. No, I'm just kidding.
Someone asked, how about castor oil for hair growth? That was another question too.
I've only ever tried that on my eyelashes, and it did work.
Really?
All right.
Oh, sweet.
I don't think there's shedding's natural.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gonna happen. I don't know that there's really anything you can
Yeah, I don't know,
do
like,
to
by
not.
too much.
Try getting pregnant and see if you stop shedding for 9 months.
Your pills
Oh
from
my goodness.
England are
If you came in my house, no, I still shed a lot.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I was writing my name on the shower wall the other day 'cause it's curly, so you can write in cursive even easier.
with your hair.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
No, please. If you had long hair, you'd be doing it too.
No, I
It's
would
already
not.
all loopy and it's on the wall, so let's see if I can just push it into the B was easy.
Wait, you have hair
And
still
how do you
sitting on
waste
your
time in the
walls?
shower?
Yeah.
Like
You
en-
should see the thing
like
that
enough to write in cursive.
Oh my God.
it just takes one.
that might
It's
be
so
grosser.
long.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't usually catch on to things, but that's gross, Brian.
But
Like,
Matt,
that's like-
Matt, but yeah, my
One
beard
hair
was
is
gross.
this long.
Matt,
Just
Little
like
glimpse into
cursive.
your world.
Like,
Okay.
one hair doesn't write one letter.
in
I got a
cursive?
B out of it.
An entire B.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I didn't write the Our Father. My name is 5
Oh my
letters.
Five
That's
letters
a
is a
lot of
lot.
hair.
Oh. Shedding is
Let's
natural.
Check that. Let's check that
Yes.
density.
Whether you do it or I do it.
I was
Screw
gonna
these
say
guys.
the amount of hair that comes out of in
Oh,
my drain
man.
trap after showering
Yeah,
is terrible.
I was gonna say you should see the tumbleweed on the floor.
Wait, people are saying they've done the same thing. I
Yeah,
guess.
see,
Oh my God.
thank you.
You know what? You're
So
all
you're
crazy.
Not the only nasty.
These haters.
That's so gross.
Alright.
I do like this next tip because I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna steal it just to start using sometimes with people.
Sometimes.
To avoid seriously damaging your strands, don't use 2 heat styling products on the same day. For the people that I can't get to listen to me or use the products the way that I tell them or use the irons the way that I tell them, I think this is a good way to go. Just to maybe they'll be like, fine, if you're gonna flat iron the hell out of your hair, wait till the next day. So live with a blowout one day and then iron it the next. Like,
See-
no more than 2 hot things in one day.
I love this because of how I recommend people going multiple days without shampooing. Because I'll tell them blow out the first day, curl or flat iron the second day, wear it up the third day. You're golden.
That is literally what I was just telling my last client today.
Oh, really?
It's amazing.
Where'd you get that idea?
You guys are on a team.
Because I do it to myself.
I'm just kidding.
I was like,
I do think it's a good idea because
Because you can
hot
push.
tools are definitely what's damaging most people's hair.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh, I'm looking for the perfect shampoo. Like, literally, you have to stop ironing your hair
Right.
over and over and over.
Like, I can get my clients to buy all the protectant in the world, but then when 17 months go by and they haven't repurchased it, I'm like, you need to. Oh no, I still have some. Well, clearly you're not using it.
Right.
So maybe at least going in that way and getting them to at least agree to destroy their hair a little less per time. That could help.
Sweet.
Everyone agrees. All right, last one. My favorite. Choose a satin or silk pillowcase to prevent breakage and allow your hair to more easily slide across the surface as you toss and turn. This literally changed my life. I started doing it.
Wait.
You totally bought like that one that
It's
Jen
changed
Atkin
your
probably
life?
promotes.
No, I thought about it, but it was actually a satin. It was 2 satin pillowcases that my grandmother had in
Oh,
the back
okay.
of a closet
Those
somewhere.
silk black ones are pretty. Did you see those?
Yeah, I was
I
gonna say. I
haven't
think you've been
yet.
talking about satin pillows since like I met you.
Have you
I've
seen the
been-
splitting hairs pillow? It's
What?
definitely soft.
It's not satin. I'm not putting my head on it.
So
Oh, it's
soft.
so
But
it is.
I disagree with the silk part
don't get any
because it's
split
a
hairs
natural
on that.
fiber. Natural fibers, curly hair, dry hair, it's just going to get all tangled in there. That's why they tell you
Ooh.
not to do cotton.
Yeah.
And they tell you to do satin because it's a synthetic fiber. It's smooth. So I'm sorry. I
Oh.
got to disagree with the silk pillowcase.
Oh.
I didn't know the damn difference, so that's cool.
Get it,
Oh,
Danielle.
once I went natural. Oh.
Danielle, what do you
I
think
found
about the
out.
splitting hairs pillow? Do you?
Well, once I
That
have
ain't
on
natural.
my slap cap, then I'll lay down on it.
See, I want a slap cap.
All right.
Well, a slap cap is just like a regular beanie, but I wish I was wearing it today. But
You
it
have
has
one?
yes.
Oh, you
I
should bring
do.
that next time.
So
we need
it's
a
got
splitting hair
satin
slap
lines.
cap.
Okay.
There you go.
It's a satin line beanie. I'll wear that to bed or night.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
so what do you guys use to refresh the curls?
So the thing that I love since I switched to the satin pillowcase is
Coconut.
my curls stay. Like when I wake up the next day, like all the curls are still there. There's just like the flat spot on the back of my head from where I was sleeping. So
I love that you're answering this like people can not wait to have curly hair like you. No, I love
Sorry, get off me.
We just
Seriously, get
talked
off me.
about this in trending tresses. Come on.
I know.
Embracing. Embrace your hair. Don't let the haters hold you down.
It's
They're
true.
Jealous.
It's true. Just keep growing it. Did you get a haircut yet? I need to cut it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I
know.
get it? Did you do it?
Okay.
No, I didn't, but I didn't know if like
That's a
sometimes
proposition.
like
Something went off with the streaming for like a second, just so everyone knows. But
Okay.
it'll
Is
just
it
go out
still
for a
streaming?
second. Yeah, it goes out for a second. It comes right back on. It's
Good.
It went from perfect streaming.
So
to
now
not.
there's
it was probably
nobody
during
that witnessed
that.
my abuse. It's great. Now it just still looks like it's in my head.
Oh, right.
What are you talking about, Brian?
My hair's fantastic.
No, but West
And it would be
Considana
worse if I
really
didn't
did
have a
ask
satin
what does
pillowcase.
he use to refresh his curls. She really did.
It varies. Like it depends on if it needs oil, then I vary different kinds of oil, not coconut. Different kinds of oils that
Yeah, but you do use that dry shampoo a lot.
I don't
What is it called? I forget.
well, I like the dry shampoo foam. I like that one. Or
No, the
I'm-
one you're obsessed with. The one that
I like the invisible wear, the dry texture.
not Paul
Spray.
Mitchell.
What, the Overbay?
No, the other company.
The way.
What's her face's
Way?
company?
Yeah, her foam.
Oh, okay.
Her dry shampoo foam. I love that one.
Oh, it's a
Great.
foam. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Smells-
shaving cream. And it actually I really like that one because
What's her name?
what I was saying, Jen Atkin is her name. And when she watches this, so tag her, everybody.
Oh, her.
No, well, the reason hers is good is 'cause what I was saying, when I sleep on a satin pillowcase, I don't have to worry. I don't have issues with frizz or broken apart curls. It might just be like a flat spot in the back of my head. So using the dry shampoo just kind of like lifts up the scalp again. And then I can, at most, I'll tie my hair back on the way to work, and then it'll kind of like lift it back up off my head enough that I can take it down and I'm good to go.
Nice.
I do the same thing.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we have 2 games to play. We have free pong
Shiza.
tonight. Thad has not practiced, so
Not that it helped.
yeah, not that it helped, but he hasn't practiced. But he's still ready to go. We also have the free wheel, so we
Wait,
have.
that's automatically me. I thought that we were taking turns on that.
We can take turns. Just Danielle's not in. I'm not in.
I mean, at this point, we might as well.
yeah.
With what?
I mean, it's
Just throwing a ball.
you can pick
Okay.
Thad. You can pick Brian. Here's the thing: post questions right now in the chat room. We're gonna pick somebody live, so we want to start answering your questions, but also we're gonna use one of you guys that's on live because you're on live and you're hanging out with us, and that makes you awesome. So we're
Truth.
we're gonna pick one of you guys to spin the wheel live or to do the free pong thing to win a splitting hairs apparel thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, that's
apparel.
That's
this
whatever.
is stuff.
Well, that's
Yeah.
scissors.
Okay.
That's all she ever spends.
Matt,
scissors.
give Jeremy Hickson a shout out
Hey, Jeremy
for
Hickson.
himself and his salon, House of Creation Salon.
Oh,
You guys,
cool.
everyone give him a shout out.
Right on. Hey, Jeremy.
Hello.
Also,
Oh, they said a shout at.
a shout out. Also, on Instagram, I saw that Alicia Loves Color.
Okay.
She has followed us for a while. Her name's Alicia Loves Color on Instagram, but her name's Alicia Davis.
I thought that was on her driver's license.
Okay.
And she just opened her new salon.
Oh, congratulations.
Congrats.
Oh, awesome.
Good luck.
I want to say it's just not just, but a booth. I'm not sure, but I think it's she'll be her own.
Like a
boss.
suite.
Yep.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah.
So,
it's pretty.
did she ask a question? There was people that asked questions, but I know
No,
there's a
she
lot of
just liked. She didn't ask a question. No.
Okay.
But there are a couple questions underneath that video.
Cool.
If you wanted to answer, I don't know.
Are
So-
there any in the chat?
Yeah, let's put.
There's a couple in the chat.
Let's
yep.
do a couple from the chat while we wait for people that are live to do it, and then we'll do like 3 or 4 questions.
Okay. Let's see. There were a couple in the beginning. I don't know if you saw any that you were like, oh, let me. Amelia asked, "Hi, I'm an independent stylist and often wonder if I'm booking myself efficiently. Are there standards that most stylists follow? I don't work with an assistant and perform all phases of my services."
I don't think you should think about a standard for that. Like, I think you should really take down the times it takes you to do each service and then assess it from there,
Okay.
especially if you're by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So in a salon, maybe your salon puts that standard out, but I don't think a salon, we talked about this actually. Danielle came from a salon recently, and Brian came from that same salon a while ago. Your salon currently kind of tells you how much time it takes, right? Is that
Yeah.
true? Or yeah. So here we don't believe like that you should rush somebody. Like to me, I think it's all about the client, right? So you guys take as much time as you need. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the faster you can do things, the more money you're going to make, because it's just the reality of it that it is. But that doesn't mean that somebody should push somebody, because everybody works differently, right? So you guys all do things differently. Brian might take longer than Drea. You guys are similar though, right? For the most part,
Yeah.
the way you book. So I think, and then Danielle, like for a balayage and a haircut, how long do you usually take?
It's always different, like how much hair there is, and sometimes
If somebody
I
called,
take a little while. So
Yeah, but-
on average, I can do like 3 hours just to give somebody the experience, give them like nice little head massage,
Yeah.
have time to obsess about formulas and all that stuff.
yeah, I think your pricing should dictate that whole experience that you're talking about right there. Like Brian's does, I think Drea's does. Like Thad, you take a lot of male clientele, but you also have women as well. But everybody has different timing, and if you're working with a computer software or whatever, you should be able to dictate that timing. But just make sure, figure out what you want to make per hour, and then make sure that your timing matches up with that, and you should be fine. Like it's not a business where, like, the hair, like doing hair behind the chair is not a business where you're gonna make millions of dollars. It's a job. So figure out what you want to make per hour that you're behind the chair, and then dictate your booking times based on that. And then that way you can figure out, well, do I need to hurry up? Do I need to take more time to figure that out? You can, assess all of that stuff, and then you'll be better off in the end. I think you'll be able to give your guest a better experience, and also you'll be more comfortable because you're not worried about rushing people out.
All right.
Yeah.
A recent cosmetologist grad here, Angela S. Harvey. She is asking, in regards to balayage, is there a technique to take a blonde brighter several sessions while still keeping the dimension? ? Pick out only blonde pieces? ? Easier way. Any suggestions?
I think the best way to make sure that a blonde looks brighter is to have some kind of contrast with it, because your eye is always going to be drawn to a lighter piece. So if you can get the lighter pieces a little brighter, maybe use a lower developer on them, because you don't want to over process them, obviously. But if they're like sitting in that egg yolky yellow, maybe just lighten that a little bit, tone it properly to get it a little bit cleaner, but just make sure that you're also leaving some negative space in there, maybe even a little bit bolder of a negative space. Don't be afraid, because one of the cool things about balayage is because it's a little bit softer of an application, you can, ride that line of stripey a little bit finer with before like it starts to look like too dated. But definitely having that that unpainted negative space will give you that contrast to make your brights look brighter.
It's good. I also think that if you don't lift enough, I think you're going to overtone and you're not going to be bright as well. Like, I think a lot of people go for a certain level and they don't get there. They try to neutralize it, and then as soon as you neutralize something, it darkens it, and then you end up with a level that you didn't want, and it's not as bright as you wanted. So I think maybe just leaving it on a little bit longer, not rushing to get it off, and make sure that maybe you use Olaplex or something like that while you're lifting, so you don't have to worry about the damage, and just lift it to the point that you need it to be, and maybe even a little bit past that, because I find people that are in school won't know this. People that have been doing hair for a long time will. When you see it with lightener on, it looks lighter than it is. So you see it with lightener, and you're like, oh, that's totally at a level 9. It looks yellow. It looks whatever. But turns out it wasn't at all. It was very orangey toned or whatever, because the white lightener against the hair makes it look lighter than it is. So just make sure, lift it a little bit longer than you think you should. Don't get scared to take things off, right? So, like, especially toners as well. Like, a lot of people will rush to take a toner off, and you should have left it on a little bit longer. So just make sure, lift it brighter than you think so that you get a brighter tone would be my recommendation. Okay.
All right. Joyce Rogers and Brittany Witherspoon both want to know, how long do you have to be an assistant? When are you a beginner? They kind of want to know when you're a beginner. Like, should you assist? For how long, if you should, and if you shouldn't, should you just go right out on the floor?
I think yes, you should assist, and how long is dependent on the person.
Damn. All right. Done.
Sorry.
Dropped. Move on. That answer.
I'd say make sure that whatever salon you are at, because I do think assisting is important. I think they should have a program in place for assistants moving into a stylist position, because I've seen so many times that stylists at certain salons that assistants remain assistants for way longer than they should, just because there isn't a chair available, or for whatever reason they don't take an initiative to move forward. I think there should be an action plan, just that you know what it is that you have to achieve to become behind the chair.
To me, doing hair is like it's an experience thing, and it's also a hunger thing. Like, so you have to really want to be good at it, and you also have to experience the bad parts of it. Like, you have to really mess up somebody's highlights, or you have to, like, you learn as you go. So when you're assisting, I think you should assist. I assisted for probably what I assist for, maybe a year, not
minutes.
even, right? But
I bought the place.
But I was very hungry for learning. Right. So I think it's different with everybody, but I definitely think that being a hairdresser, as long as you want to learn and you're not afraid to make mistakes, like I made a lot of mistakes, right?
I would say, too, all of you were at the time training for Paul Mitchell and being an educators, and then you were educators. And I know while Matt was doing that, and then when he became an educator, he was ready and available for anything, any job, which was a lot of times a payless job. And he was behind the scenes learning from a lot of really, really, really experienced, talented people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my assisting wasn't a lot in the
Figure
salon
out what you want.
as much as it was.
Well, I think that's what if you, along with hunger, I think it's also, like, paying attention doesn't really cover it, because that's kind of like a duh. But just taking everything in. Like, I I'm so thankful for the assisting that I did, because I learned some really great stuff that I still use to this day from some amazing hairdressers. And I also learned some make sure you never do that, because that's what it looks like when you do kind of stuff. So I think assisting is completely invaluable. There's things that you're not going to learn until you're actually behind the chair doing it. But I think at least watching several, not just assisting one person, but assisting as many people as you can in whatever way that you can, it's only going to help. I mean, hell, to this day, if I were to go and just like hang out and hand people combs, I would still learn stuff. I'd be like, oh shit, I never combed hair like that before.
For sure, yeah.
Well, or not. I think Drea is right. If the salon you're working for or the management or the owner has no idea or no thought about what their assisting process is, if you're just kind of there to just be there,
if they're just
then
you're just their cleaning lady.
Yeah, if like there's not education, the thought of behind it isn't teaching them, and they're just a gopher, then you would probably know that you might be better off behind the chair just experiencing.
It's true.
Personally, and I think if you really want to be a great hairdresser, I think hanging out in your own salon and only learning from the people that you work with every day is a bad idea, personally. I think you should. All of us have been in the situation of a hair show. Hair shows are nothing like they used to be, but just like...
Now that we don't do them.
But even like pushing yourself to certain like areas or whatever... Like,
we're kidding. We are totally kidding.
But they're not, and like they are in certain ways, but it's a little bit different. Like I think the process of getting in and actually learning things, like before it was fun. It was a hangout, like it was your friends, like, you know, hair
now they
shows
just feel like flea markets.
Hair shows are a little bit different, but if you get in with a company and you can figure out, like, you start assisting in that scenario, they're pushing the envelope of hair. And in the salon, most people, like, every day we're not pushing the envelope.
No, I've watched foils sit on someone's head for like a day at a hair show. So it definitely has me a little less afraid. If I want to leave it on for like an extra 5 minutes in the salon, I'm like, where am I? That gal. Like, she still had hair on her head. So
I remember that, like, the first month that I moved here, I went and worked. It wasn't the first month because it was in March or whatever. I worked the IBS show, and Sam brought me up there because I had just started working at the salon to assist, right? And they said to me, go shampoo this model out. And I went back to shampoo her, and she had pink inkworks all in her hair. And I just started shampooing her out. And all of a sudden I had pink, like, all the way up to, like, my arms up here. Everything was pink. And, you know, like, it's those kind of scenarios where you're, like, super embarrassed and you're just like, I can't believe I did that. All of those things transfer into your knowledge, like the things that you know as a hairdresser. Like, that's your experience of what you do.
I don't know
go purchase a few doll heads and you take to the internet.
Right.
And you really can, you don't need to assist somebody.
Not anymore.
You don't.
You
like,
don't,
you really
but you need to watch. You know, you need to watch a lot of things, but a lot of people hide things too. Like, a lot of people can make things look really good. And, like, even if you watch people on the internet, you're watching their finished product, what they were... like what they decided to put out.
But that's kind of with anything. I mean, a lot of people can, like, for instance, I could watch one of your videos and you could teach me a haircut, and then there might be one little spot where you didn't say the why. You're very good at explaining haircuts, though, but you might be a bad example. But I would just, I might have learned it. I may have learned it then by myself while I was doing it, practicing it. I may have figured it out on my own. You know, like, I'm not saying that it's 100% perfect, but you do not need to be in a salon assisting either.
Yeah.
If you're passionate, you will figure it out.
And that's what I mean by the hunger part of it. Like, if you want to learn, just learn. Like,
one way or another, you got to get the practice
and
in.
you're going to screw
You're not going to start
up.
off good. You got to get, whether you get the practice in by following other people or you figure it out on your own and it takes 2 to 3 times longer, you'll get there.
Yeah,
but you
and
got to do
everybody's stuff is so
learn
edited anyways that, like, literally just don't feel bad about anything that you do because it looks the same as everybody else's. They've just figured out how to edit better. So it's just the way it is. Like, that's
Jay had
mess things up.
Jay had a question about to foil or to balayage. When one technique can achieve the other, is it really just about skill and preference, or is there a situation when you would only use one exclusively? And
Right.
do you all agree that the one
I don't
technique can
I don't
achieve
agree with that.
the other? Okay.
I was gonna say I think you can. There's some things that you can achieve similarly, but not. It's not the same thing.
Balayage guy, what do you think?
It's funny. I actually just answered this today with my second client today 'cause she asked me. Like I have very few clients that I still foil just because I prefer the look of balayage as far as like the work that I like to put out that I'm super proud of. But there are a couple people that for a specific reason they still get foiled. One of which is her hair just cannot get bright enough without the incubation that a foil gives and the time allotted. Like I don't want to sit here all day and do it twice to get her as bright as a foil can get her like that. Plus, I've tried balayage on her, and her hair is so baby fine, and the way that she likes to wear her hair, she kind of needs the over-processing that comes from blasting it with a foil.
Right.
Like, she doesn't like when I do, like, deep conditioners or super conditioning any of this, 'cause she needs her hair to kind of stand up and be punky and spiky, and that comes from really just roughing it up with foils. So we've tried balayage on her, and it's not that it didn't look good. It's just that she likes the way her hair comes out better.
Do you get the same results doing foil on her that you would on balayage?
No.
Right.
No.
Not even the same look, right?
No. It's much more severe with foil, which is what she likes.
Okay.
And I like softness, so I've converted at this point everyone that I could that it made sense to, just because I like doing it.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's a different times to use them.
Okay.
There aren't a lot of people that I choose foils, but that's a thing. That's my thing.
Yeah. Anybody? Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, there are the times that you do need that extra, like Brian said, that extra power from the foil, and some people are just not gonna get that light with balayage, and some people don't like the natural look of balayage and want a more consistent
Some people are still to the scalp. kind of people.
like want that grow out. They want to know where their hair was before.
So
Did we answer that at all?
Yes.
my big thing would be that
So
I don't think you
Dre-
can
Dre
get
just repeated the same thing, but in a shorter version.
you
I feel
can't get
like.
balayage placement from foils.
Yeah,
To me,
you
unless
can't get
you
the
were gonna-
softness.
Yeah, unless
Like-
you were gonna
Yeah.
paint it similar to balayage, but then
Because
that
I gotta
doesn't make
tell,
sense.
like, there's certain people I try to put foils in the exact same place that I would, but it just it doesn't.
yeah, it's harsher, and even when you incubate it in a foil, it's harsher on the line too.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get the same softness. Of
I was gonna say you can feather it and soften it a little bit in a foil, but it's not the
Right.
same brokenness.
Okay. I think we're good.
Okay, we answered a lot of questions.
We've been on
Yes.
the air,
For
on the
an
airwaves for an hour and 13 minutes.
Yep.
so
You're welcome.
it's time to play the games. So thank you guys so much for all the questions and everything. Let's do this. Chris, you can pick
Whoa.
somebody that's on live for Thad to throw the free pong balls.
Okay.
So the way that this game works, I want to go.
Oh, there was another good question. I'm sorry.
Oh wait, what is it?
Marley, she said the crazy swirl on the crown and thick hair. What is the best cut for that stupid thing? I swear, short or long, it all looks wacky. That's a good question.
Style it right.
Push the hair and where it grows.
Go back
in
and
like
forth.
a cowlick.
Pointing the dryer
Area?
at the root. Get rid of the growth pattern.
It seems, I mean, the crown. and the
Relax it.
thick. Think of Hayden's hair.
Iron it.
It just sticks up. Hayden's thick crown, that part of his
I
head.
just gave you 5 answers. You're welcome.
You did?
Yeah.
Just lick your hand and stick it down. Is that what you said?
6. A hat.
He woke
7.
up the other day and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm perfect alfalfa. It was the perfect piece."
I think with I did do a video on cowlicks because on on Matt Setzer's hair actually.
Oh, okay.
But I did this technique where you just follow. I think with growth
yeah,
patterns.
Jay already told everyone you did a video on that.
Oh, good. Jay.
He
sounds
said
like Jay is
layer
spinning the
it.
wheel or
Yeah.
playing free pong.
Yeah, you layer it. Don't over direct it too much. Don't and just work on the growth pattern. But then it's all like you were saying, kind of like it's in the blow dry. So you just got to make sure that you cut it the right way. If you have a cowlick, you have a cowlick. But you just want to make sure. A lot of people will cut them shorter because they stick out, and that's just ridiculous. Like I would leave it a little bit longer so you have a little bit more hair to push when you're blowing
That way
it
the
dry.
alfalfa is taller.
Yeah.
Wisconsin Donna, throw your balls, Thad.
Okay.
So wait, is Thad doing it, or are we letting?
No, we got to ask.
I think
Or we
Brian
pick
wants
it.
So we got to pick
Oh, I
someone.
don't care. I'll do it, or I.
Let's
I
pick
will
somebody.
cheer on
and
anybody else.
Who's gonna be? So Chris, you pick.
Oh, jeez.
Bringing that back.
Of course. And then they get to pick who's gonna
Now
throw.
it makes sense that it's such a hard decision for it because this music.
I know.
No, I'm just gonna give it a scroll and then just pick
Okay.
like where my finger lands.
Sounds good.
So
It feels like
Joyce
disarming a
Joyce
bomb.
Rogers.
Joyce Rogers.
Joyce Rogers.
All right, Joyce.
What was Joyce's question?
Who would you like to
Joyce-
spin, Joyce? You got to type it in.
Was
Or
it-
no, who would you like to throw the balls?
Yep.
Thad, Brian, Drea,
Danielle can do it.
Danielle.
Okay, I'll do it.
That's it.
Not matter, Christina.
I got to run the music.
No, we could throw it too. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
I want Christina to do it just because it'll put her on camera.
Yes, Joyce, you. Pick Brian, Drea, Danielle, Thad, Matt to play some
Or
beer
Christina.
beer pong.
Yeah.
Is there beer in it this week?
No, there's no beer. It's
No,
it's
no beer.
free pong. It's not beer pong.
It's free pong.
Come on,
Free
Brian.
beer.
I say. Oh wait, somebody else said Brian.
Jay saying Brian or Danielle, Joyce.
Come on,
All right,
Joyce.
You have to
Come
pick
on,
someone.
Joyce.
Pick someone to play the free pong. You
Brian.
win something special.
That's
All
it.
right, Brian.
All right, Brian. Let's see this.
Matt might be good to the way he's swigging from that mug.
I know. I know. It was one of those days. All right. What'd you say? You get 5 balls. You have to make 2 of them, right? That's what we said?
Yes.
No,
at-
it was 3.
I was
Last week it was,
Was
3.
it 3?
Yeah.
Wow, that I really made you like. Okay. No, it's 2.
We
It's
gave
2.
it away anyway, so it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
it's 2. 2 out of 5 is good. All right, Brian. Wait. Get the music going. Okay.
Go
Now it's
Brian.
intense. Okay, now. All right, the first ball is out. And it's a miss. Second ball. It's a miss. Come on, Brian. The music's getting louder. Oh, it's a miss.
Are you bouncing it?
He just has to make the last 2.
Air ball.
It's a miss.
Oh.
One more. And it's.
Oh my god.
Wait, Brian cannot say. Wait, Brian cannot say anything about that
Oh my
anymore.
god. Kristen said
know
you
what,
better
Brian?
win her
Yeah,
something
you can.
or no barrettes.
I can say whatever I want. I didn't say I would get them.
Oh, that was great.
Oh.
Joyce, you're still getting a prize.
Yeah, Joyce,
not
we'll
a good
send you
one.
something.
We're the worst at this. Like
You can have one of those balls.
You're absolutely getting it.
Those balls are unlucky as hell. You can
So
have all of them.
You'll get a prize.
The prize
it's
just won't
gonna
be
an
as
empty
good.
envelope.
Yeah, it's a
No.
little
You can
bit
have a
less.
comb, but it's
it'll
used.
say free salon education on the front.
It's a free salon education
You
T-shirt,
get
but it's a
Brian's free
size
salon
smaller.
education.
We're sending you scissors, but they're pinking shears from Staples.
No. They get Brian's free salon education shirt.
Oh, okay.
There
Wisconsin
you go.
From the
Donna
old
thought you'd be
podcast.
better with balls, Brian.
I mean, I am.
Joyce
Just
Rogers.
not in front of a crowd.
Come on, Brian.
Okay,
Aw.
Joyce, email contest@freesaloneducation.com. You'll be emailing Christina, and she will send you a T-shirt. But you got to send her your T-shirt size, and you'll get a Splitting Hairs T-shirt. And we want to see it on the internet, right?
Yeah, tag me in it. Holding balls.
Yeah.
Holy balls.
Jeez.
Okay, now we got
I
to
don't
pick.
think it's gonna be safe to go on Facebook for a while.
We have to
Never
pick
was.
somebody's question that we answered for the free will.
Instagram or on
Whatever
here?
one we
What do we
we,
answer?
answered. So on the free will, we have Olaplex, we have MinervaBeauty.com, which is our lovely sponsor. The stools we're sitting on,
Hopefully you get a stool.
the
The entire
chairs,
salon.
the chairs, the entire salon. I actually did a
My bed.
salon. Your bed.
Is Minerva.
Is the stool nice and soft?
It's Ms. Minerva. So and then that
It looks
awesome.
like the Game of Thrones chair. It's just all Mizutani scissors.
I still haven't been able to take that out of this room yet because I just really like it.
And because you're not strong enough.
That's true. It's true. So MinervaBeauty.com. Also, Ergo brushes, Donald Scott carving combs. We have a Mizutani scissor on there. We gave one away 2 episodes ago. And I think they're sending it out, right? We just talked to them the other day.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on her
Size,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're actually like, we're like, oh, you get a free scissor. Oh, wait, we need to know what size. Are you right-handed? Are you left-handed? Like, I don't know. But they are sending out the
Get what you
Mizutani scissor.
get.
Yeah. And
you
don't
don't
get
get
upset.
upset.
Right.
Yeah.
And you become a left.
Learn how to cut lefty.
Sunlight's Balayage is giving out a Bali Box 2.0. And then
You hit them all.
that's it. And then us, Free Salon Education. So you have a good chance of winning all kinds of cool stuff. Who is it going to be?
How about if any of you remember a question, why don't you do it that way? How's
What
that?
about Jay? Because I believe we answered one of his questions, and he actually answered somebody else's question.
Did Jay win the first show?
Oh, is he already played?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay.
I just feel like it's too soon. I know I love Jay.
Oh,
Too
no
soon.
worries. No, I didn't know that he had picked up.
But he didn't do the wheel. Oh yes, he did.
I think he did.
He
I
did
think
the
he
wheel.
was the first
Yeah, the
wheel.
first one. Okay, so we have to spread the love, but he'll be in the. How about? Do you remember a question that you liked? Any of you?
How about
that you
Kristen
really-
Collins? She's been pretty active on there.
Okay,
Right?
Kristen
Let's do
Collins.
Kristen Collins.
Killed it.
Okay. So we're going to give it a spin.
Drama.
What's it going to be? Wow, that's a long spin, Dre. Good job. Dad,
I've been working out.
let's zoom it in there. What's it going to be?
Olaplex.
Oh, sweet.
Yo, it started
That's
slowing
awesome.
down around
That is
Mr.
the
Tiny
gift of
Scissors.
love right
I
there.
thought it was going to be 2 Mr. Tiny Scissors in 2 weeks.
Olaplex.
Got it.
Gotta love Olaplex.
I do.
Goodness.
We actually, if you guys haven't downloaded the Olaplex app, we've been putting videos on there like crazy. So if you guys want to learn new tips
Or
on
just see more of us.
Olaplex, definitely go check it out.
Cool.
All
I
right,
have to
that's
do
it.
That video.
That's the show. We got to get out of here. It's been
All
a
right.
long time.
We're gonna go
It's
play
been a
real
long
beer
night.
pong.
Thank you guys so much, everybody that tuned in. Follow Dan. Wait. Let's talk about this real quick. So not only did Danielle change her name on Instagram,
Yes.
she deleted all her photos.
I archived them.
Okay. She archived all of her photos and only has 2 hair pictures, right?
Yes.
So but what's your new Instagram name?
The hands downs.
The Hands Downs.
Well, thanks to, Brian and his power of wordplay.
That was a New Year's Eve thing?
Yeah.
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day?
When she got her new phone, she decided to upgrade her life.
Oh, yeah, you got a new phone, too?
Exactly.
All right.
She's rocking
You
the
know, I
axe.
just
So-
get shamed into stuff on
Follow Danielle, The
Daily
Hands
basis.
Downs. Hand Downs or
Hands.
The
hands?
hands.
Hands Downs.
Mhm.
And Thad, wait, this is like a crazy week. Thad changed his
Yeah, we
Insta-
were actually doing it at the same time and didn't really realize that we were both focused on doing it at the same time.
Okay.
Until Danielle started talking about it.
Thad started his own new Instagram.
Before it was cool.
It's not Thad Bolanized anymore. It's
Thad_@_gratitude.
okay.
Oh, good. It takes longer to say. I was
It
hoping
takes
it would be
longer
easier.
to say, but like now I'm just going to say Thad@gratitude. So
Thatitude?
Yeah.
Are
Can
you
we change it
changing
again?
Thatitude.
Thatitude.
Love it.
So funny story is okay. So one of my clients, he's in high school. After his first time coming here, his dad's like, they should change the name of the salon to Thatitude. No joke. And then
I know. I'm waiting for the funny story.
After I sign this
Oh,
up.
no,
Somebody
that-
actually sent me a message saying, I feel like you really missed an opportunity to call your Instagram Thatitude. And now you guys are all saying it. Maybe I should have named it Thatitude.
Well, it's not too late.
But
Yeah.
what's the
Not too
difference
late,
between Thatitude and Thad Bolanized?
I mean, they're all fake words.
I like Thad Bolanized. Like, I might have given you a hard time about it,
You
but
killed
I
it, man.
actually really like
No, I'm just
Thad
kidding.
Bolanized. Thad at Gratitude is great too, though.
I like
Thad-
the attitude. Because, like, I think that's you. Like, that's what you have. Attitude.
I was
Too
wondering
bad.
what you had. That is what it is.
All right, follow Brian.
Still hairstyle.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's tattooed. It's not going anywhere.
Andrea.
Still hair by Dre Day.
Boring. It's 2018. Come on.
Follow us, everything at Free Salon Education. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this podcast. We love you all. We'll see you guys next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.